AJ.
I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted in Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective.
Yay!
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Episode
12.
12.
13. 13.
It's 13.
It's 13.
We got past 5 and I wasn't no good.
We done forgot.
We done forgot.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, this episode is about the politics of black hair.
Yes. Politics
so
of black
stay
hair.
for some information.
Or the reality, the politics and the reality of black hair.
Whether you have black hair or not, being aware of the stigma that surrounds it is helpful to those that you do know.
That's right. It is correct.
So the black hair stigma is a form of racial discrimination and texturism that devalues Afro-textured hair, often labeling it unprofessional, unclean, or unkept.
Yes, unkempt hair.
Unkempt. Yes. Now, this is rooted in the fact of like slavery.
Yeah.
So, back then, we'll talk about it. It was not having hair that looked more like white people's was an issue. So everybody wanted to look more like white people or be more like and be more accepted and widely accepted by white people. So having hair that was too far on the spectrum would get you shunned.
Right. The Madam C.J. Walker of it all.
Yes. So being more, we'll call it Eurocentric.
Yes, Eurocentric.
Eurocentric beauty was more widely accepted than Afro-textured hair.
Right.
So a lot of places where you will see the stigma is like in the workplace.
Yeah.
In school.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the good hair myth.
Yes.
That like one set of black hair is better than the other.
That's right.
Yeah. People say, and people still say, "Oh, they got that good hair."
Uh-huh.
Like to my kids, and I'm like, please don't say that to my children.
That's right. Don't say that to my
I know
children.
they both have hair, and they have hair that's different from each other, but everybody says they got that good hair.
Yeah, I've heard that said numerous times about my girls.
Yeah.
My oldest has her hair is more, it's a mixture. She has hair texture like she's mixed race. And so, and you can see it in the kinky parts and then the curly and straight hair. She has hair very similar to my mom's like style of hair.
And unfortunately, hair like that and even lighter skin is very much fetishized.
It is.
Fetishized. Did I say it right? Fetishized.
You know you're asking the wrong person if you're asking me.
Yeah, it's a fetish. So people, they love to say like, "Oh, my hair is mixed," or like if you're gonna have mixed babies, they're like, "Oh, they're gonna have that good hair. They're gonna have, they're gonna have more hair like their daddy." And then if they don't, like, let this little mixed kid come out with hair more that's kinkier.
Yeah.
Then they're like,
yeah,
like it's a sad thing.
And see, for me, all of it is. I got girls. All of it is just
hair.
It's just all hair, and I still don't know how to braid. It's
me neither.
Yeah, but you have boys.
Well, I kept their hair.
Yeah, you kept their hair. You did
silly
keep their hair. Yeah,
silly.
I remember when you were first pregnant, and I was when you found out he was a boy, that Jackson was gonna be a boy, and I was like,
yes.
Yeah, you were like, yes. I was like, yes. You don't have to do hair, and here you are.
Man, it was so nice looking.
It is.
It grew in so evenly. Like
so well.
He never had that part where like in the back of your head
was
all thin and balding. Like he never had it. He always just had a head
George
full of
Jefferson, baby.
Not the cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac?
You know the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a little less on top, but
that's diabolical.
But it goes around.
Yep.
But listen, so he just had, and it wasn't even about the texture of his hair. It was just how full it was and how pretty it was and how like I could do it. He would let me do his hair too, and I would try to do it. Like I would he'd have his little curls.
Yeah, but I think it's at the point where you need to cut both of their hair because they are tender-headed.
I don't know what happened.
That is wild.
I don't know what happened. Jaden acted a fool the last time he got his hair done. While we talking about side note, he acted a plum nut at Shannon House the other day to get his hair done. I mean, a plum.
Yeah.
Fool. I had to sit there.
Both of them.
I had to sit there and hold him. Like I had to sit, and she put a chair in front of him while I laid with him because he wouldn't let me go while he watched Paw Patrol.
Your child would not be my client anymore. I'm telling you right, and I love your kids, but they would not be.
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Because when Jackson was over at the house and Shannon came to the house to do his hair, and he was sitting in a chair and he was like leaning forward and she was having to lean forward, and I said, the look on my face, I said, "Are you serious?"
Oh yeah.
And she said, "Yes, he's serious." I said, "No, or is he really serious?" And I was just
taken aback.
I was so surprised. And I have girls, and my girls, they might be tender-headed, but they don't vocalize it.
Oh, these kids vocal.
Oh yeah, your kids are very vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It's time to cut it now.
But nobody wants their hair cut. I don't want to just cut it.
Yeah.
Like Jackson now, like he wanted his hair. Now, see, this is a good example. He wanted to cut his hair at one point.
Yeah.
Because people made fun of him for having hair.
That's right, yeah.
And so I said, well, now I can't cut it on principle. Now you got to keep it because I need you to understand that you don't cut your hair for other people. You cut your hair because you decide I want a different look for myself. That's right. Not because somebody told you that you're...
Don't feel pressure.
And he loves his hair.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it when it's big. He loves it when it's curly. He loves it just like it is. And I'm like, I'm not cutting it because somebody told you
because he is not his
like
hair,
it.
even though but it does make up a huge part of his personality in the sense, not of his personality, but just who he is, his character.
It's a part of him. I mean, he's never had his hair cut.
I mean, both your kids, I just, like you said, their hair is really full. My youngest, her hair is like that. I've sent you multiple pictures because when I told you, I was like, it takes me 4 hours just to get through the detangling part. This not, we talking about finish it. I done took it down. Now we got to detangle it
because get it apart.
She has hair that intertwines very quickly,
very easily. Both of my kids do too.
Yes,
it's rough.
And I was like,
you saw that hair when she came to pick him up from me. She was like, she started laughing in the car because his hair, I blow dried it, so it was just down like that, and she was just like, ha.
Terrible.
And I thought, I ain't the one that's got to do it.
I've never ever taken down that child's hair because I already got one of them in the house.
It's a lot. But anyway, back to the point. So having the stigma of hair and the stigma of black hair, of how it is supposed to look so it can be professional,
right,
and kept the same way as Eurocentric people.
Yeah.
It's terrible, honestly.
Right.
Like, and it's harder. And for black women that were in like corporate America at one time, they were always wearing their hair straight
or wearing
and
weaves.
Slick back. Yes, always trying to look just like their counterparts so that they could move up in the world,
right?
And get promoted and things like that. But just not based on their skills, but based on their appearance,
right?
From the hair that grows out of their head,
right? And that changed a little bit, and I say very little when the Crown Act was implemented. But where you're not supposed to be discriminated against, but we all know that discrimination still happens in every form, no matter what kind of law or rule they have on the books. You just have to play the game and figure out a way to do it.
And if you don't know, now you know. Because it definitely does happen. Because even when I got my job, I had just decided to cut my hair off probby a year or so before. So my hair wasn't...
was before you locked it.
Yeah, this is way before. So this is 10, 11 years ago or so. I locked my hair, I cut my hair to be natural, go natural as we did at the time. It was a big movement, back in 2013. Yeah. So I had been getting perms since I was about 8. And at that point, it's, the straight hair, it's the life. Yeah. But then I was like, there's a lot of chemicals we putting in my head. So I decided I was going to be natural. Right. And then so I had about this much hair on my head, about that much. When I cut it, I thought it was more. She was like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah, that looks like a good amount." But a scoop of hair, a teaspoon.
You sure you didn't have a scissor happy?
I had a no. She cut. She was showing me. Yeah, I had a teaspoon of hair on my head. A teaspoon. But it was very freeing to cut it off. I didn't have to do a whole lot to it every day. Like I could wet it every day if I wanted to. Could never when it was perm. Could never just wet my hair. But I was concerned about how my classmates were going to see me because I was still in PT school. How my classmates were going to see me and how was I going to be able to get a job with my teaspoon of hair. Right. But because my class, if I'm going to say it, my class was all white in PT school. I was the only, there was not even a black teacher. Everybody was white except me. Yeah. So there was a lot of questioning. People were asking me questions about my hair. I'm like, listen, y'all, I just did this. I don't even understand it for real myself at this point about what's going to happen and what's it going to look like. I have zero clue. I haven't had natural hair since I was little. But then getting a job, of course, my hair grew significantly by the next year when I had to go to job interviews. But it still was should I wear my afro or should I wear
a wig or
should I put something on my hair? Should I get it braided? Should I get it twisted? Should I do something to it? Right. And I do think I ultimately, if I remember correctly, I had it twisted down so it wasn't out into a fro when I went to my interview because I didn't think it was professional enough to have it that way. And I think even though how it grows out of my head. And when my afro was cute.
Yeah.
Okay,
now your afro was
my afro was cute, yo. Yeah. But I still felt like it just wouldn't be seen as professional. And I was coming to this little town and I wasn't really sure about that either. And and when I got here, everybody did not look like me either. No. So I thought, okay, that was the right decision. So I could get a job.
You just wasn't in the right part of town to find your people.
It took us a minute to find the other people. But so I changed my hairstyle to get a job thinking that I needed to. Now I probably didn't need to, but that's the point at the time. Right. The mindset of all of us was I need to do X, Y, and Z to get this job.
And a lot of people, they carry that same thought and I say a lot of people, but a lot of women, and even now, so more so men that are deciding to lock their hair and deciding to grow it out, and the styles that they use and that they wear now, that is a predominant thought when they go into the workplace. I know that I have said that to my oldest a lot, about make sure that you're presentable and your hair looks, neat, and that you look, in a sense, you look like you belong to somebody. I say that a lot. Yeah,
my mama.
I say that a lot. I was like, you need it, cause honey, she
look like you loved.
That's what I said. You better not go out the house in no pajamas. This is no shade to anybody to go out the house in the pajama and bonnets. Do what you do, boo. Do what you do, boo. But for me in my house,
that's for me in my house.
When she get out of my house, she better not go outside with no pajamas.
You sound like my mama.
And she better not, because she is a representation of me and her daddy. And so she better get herself presentable. Now, she grown now, so some stuff I just let slide. But my face said all. My face said all. But I've said that to her. And even when she went to college, this was the first time she wanted to wear like colored hair in her braids. Oh, I was so against it. And then I was like, I gotta let go. She's over 18.
See, but why are you against color and hair?
Well, I'm just against it for me. It at first, I would say that it was for everybody else. I didn't care about nobody else. It was all about my thought and what I perceived to be, professional.
Yeah, what you thought was professional.
What I thought was professional. And it wasn't later until when she got ready to go off, and then I was like, oh, she gonna be off, and these people gonna see her. But when you're in college, you explore and you do things. Yeah. But she did the blue hair, and it was beautiful. It was the colors of her school colors. It was beautiful. It was fun. And since then,
you done shut your mouth, ain't you?
She done went all on the deep end. Now it's some stuff I be wanting to tell her, but anyway,
ain't none of your business.
Ain't none of my business. And so
let that baby explore her life and her hair. And
right. And when she was younger, I put a relaxer in her head because it was easier for me to style. I didn't do it because everybody else did it. I did it because I didn't have a lot of time to. I worked multiple jobs, and I just didn't have time to deal with it, and didn't really have the skill really to learn how to
handle all that.
Right, and so I relaxed her hair. Worst decision I ever done. Yeah. And now she cut and color it all the time, and I'm just like, oh, you have such good hair.
Oh,
that's what I say.
Oh,
you have such good hair.
Oh,
yeah.
As we sitting here talking about good hair,
yeah,
and the good hair myth.
And see, my good hair is. My version of good hair, I think all hair is good hair, but my version of good hair for her is just all the different textures. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
I loved every texture of her hair. And then the youngest one, she's going to high school next year. Trying not to say her age. But she's going to high school next year, and she hasn't had a relaxer. Her hair is natural, which, it does make for a very long Saturday.
Yeah.
But she loves her hair. But because she goes to a predominantly white school, and she sees all her friends and counterparts having straight hair, she always asks, can she have it straight? And I'm not about the sick press. I'm not about doing anything that's going to potentially damage. And I know it could,
because it may not, but once it's damaged, it's damaged.
Yeah, once it's there, you have to cut it off. And I know she does not. Like, even when she gets ready to get a trim, she's like, I hate it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut any part of it.
You got to cut it a little bit.
When you were talking about cutting your hair and having a spoonful of hair.
My teaspoon.
Your teaspoon, that's right. Not even a spoonful, just a teaspoon.
It was a teaspoon, y'all. It was so little.
You have a good head shape, though.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say.
You can see it.
That's what I was going to say. I found out my head shape when I cut off my hair. And I cut off my hair because I had a friend that she had got diagnosed with cancer again. And she had, I think, I want to say that this was the first time this was like her 5th time going into remission or coming out of remission. And this was the first time her hair came out, and she was like, we were talking about it, and so she FaceTimed me. Yeah, she FaceTimed me, and she saw, and I was like, oh my God, you have such a good head. And she was like, satin. I was like, but if you didn't, I would not be able to say anything positive about that. I would be like, oh, you.
Oh.
But now I can say, oh, so you, this is so good. And so I cut my hair off, and my husband had to do, I asked my husband to do it. He was so against it. But then when I told him my reasoning, he was like, okay, all right, you can do it. And when I done it, I was like, this girl look good.
When do you ever say
Sometimes I have bad days. I mean, but it was like, I look good, and I wanted to keep my hair that way, and it grew back, and I didn't have an awkward phase or anything, and I kept it natural for a very long time, and it just, my hair grows really, really fast, but I get really, really sick of it, and I cut it off quick, in the quickness. You will always see me in braids, because if I have to wear my hair down more than 3 days, I'm cutting it.
It's wild.
It's gonna get chopped off. I cut my hair, and I cut it again a couple years ago, and I cut it off really short.
You did?
And Shannon was like, I hadn't seen your hair in a while, what it looks like. And it was maybe a few months. And she looked at it. She's like, why is your hair so long? I thought you cut it. I just seen you.
Yeah.
And you didn't have any hair. And I was like, girl, I don't know. Hormones? That's all I can think of.
And I'm about to cut it off again.
But all of that is to say...
Come on back to the point, Satin.
Come on back to the point. All of that is to say is that because I didn't work in a professional setting, I didn't feel like I had the pressure to adjust the style and the way I had my hair. Even when I was in a professional setting, I have always, and I think that goes back to the confidence that you have. I'm going to get what I need to get despite how I look or despite what my hair says about me. For me, that was the approach that I had in life. And so the way that I would go in, however I had my hair is how I had my hair. I have been to interviews in predominantly white industries and come in looking like I'm Black Power. Don't have a second thought of it. Not even thinking if I never got the job, maybe that was the reason why. It never crossed my mind because I never felt that pressure. However, I recall working with other, like when I started working at one of my jobs and it was a predominantly Black, because usually when I worked there, I would be the only Black person there, but this was a place where there were predominantly Black people. And I would see everybody had their own, everybody looked like me. So everybody had hair textures like me. And I could still see the difference. Like in some people trying to gentrify.
And make sure they look like
right, even though predominantly all of us were the same one. And I thought that is so odd to me.
It is.
Like everybody was trying to conform to a professional setting to make sure that they look presentable to the people.
Even though those people aren't here.
Even though those people aren't here. And I
the
thought,
people who we think care or that we know do care, and like then, they're not here.
Right, and when I was the only one in the office, I cared nothing about it. And I thought to myself, God, then I started feeling self-conscious. Like, do I need to straighten? Do I need to do these things?
No.
Yeah.
Now, I did forget to say this stat. Black women are 1.5 or 1.5 times more likely to be sent home or face judgment regarding their hair in the workplace.
Yeah. Even when I think about schools and children, I've only
had a lot of rules. A lot of people have had to make different rules because they would say like, "Oh, you can't do this or that with your hair," and I'm like, but that excludes people's natural hair that comes out of their head. Not like, oh, I won't braid down to my ankles. It just excludes the hair that comes out of my head.
Right. My oldest, at one point, she wanted a mohawk.
I wonder how you felt about that.
Oh, I loved it. It was a beautiful style on her. It was a beautiful style on her. She had it was braided up, and then one time she only had one side braided. But anyway, she wore this style for a little while, and nobody ever said anything. And then all of a sudden, one day they were like, "Oh no, they didn't even say anything directly to her. I don't believe they made a rule at school. Now she was going to a predominantly white school, private school, and when I seen that, I automatically knew it was for her. That had never been existence.
Yeah.
And I felt it was for her. I'm not gonna say I knew, but I felt it was for her. And I had a come to Jesus moment with the people, and I was like, she gonna wear her hair how she wants to wear her hair. If y'all got a problem with it, y'all got a problem with it. I don't care.
I can just see you up there.
I don't care. And
about to tear this little Christian school up.
Man, didn't care because
don't care nothing about it.
I go to bat for my child.
Yeah, I know.
Now if she wrong, we'll correct it at the house.
But in front of these people,
it's a united front. And because she knew that, there were a lot of times where she didn't say anything to me. And we're going to get into this, but the rules of but and so when that happened, and she came home, she's like, I don't want my mohawk anymore. And when she told me that, I had to keep asking, had to keep talking to her, let her talk a little bit more to find out the reason. And then
to get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, to get to the nitty gritty. But yes, that happens all the time in the workplace. The rules change because of. They push the goalpost line.
Yes.
We say that a lot.
They push it back.
They push it back each time. And the day is the proverbial day.
Yeah. Yeah.
They push it back each time.
For the last thing on this one, the cultural significance of hair. So historically and traditionally, African hair represented identity, social status, and community, which was intentionally targeted to break cultural ties.
Yeah.
With it having such a strong tie to your identity,
yes.
When you're trying to break somebody, that's one of the first things you go for.
That's
shaking their confidence, taking away their culture, taking away the things that they know to be true about themselves, especially if you're trying to control them as they did in slavery.
That's right. Yeah.
So cutting their hair off or not giving them access to be able to take care of it.
I mean, if we go in that deep, Christianity. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, whole nother topic. But so, cutting the things off that would give you your identity and keep you bold and keep you confident and give you self-esteem and make you secure.
Right.
Changes the power dynamic between the two people.
It indoctrinates you to say that the way you live your life or who you are is not good enough.
Oof. It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That is wild. Now, what you want to say?
I wanted to say this article that I found, it talks about black hair and fighting the notion of respectability and race-based hair discrimination or hair bias. And it says the negative attitude towards certain styles of black hair reflects a politics of respectability. The devaluation, Jesus, get the words out.
You can do it.
And we're going to see if this next word, if I could do, and deintegration. Right?
Yeah.
Oh. Of black hair is psychologically damaging. And we talked about that being damaging. Black hair is an important source of cultural pride and counter to whiteness as the standard. Ooh. That is wild.
Proximity to whiteness.
Proximity to whiteness. Like some of the universities that banned dreadlocks, banned certain natural texture hairstyles. And it's covert. They don't.
It's never just outright. You can't have this.
It's passive.
It's like it'll describe the whole hairstyle.
Right.
And you're like, that's what I got on my head though.
You know what? And actually, when I was researching, it's something that popped up. It was a recent tweet or post, and I don't remember was it the New Yorker or some magazine? Anyway, Vogue was the magazine. They quoted this style and was saying that it was the cloud something, some kind of cloud hairstyle, but they were describing an afro. And they tried to attribute the description of what they put in there. They had the picture of Tracee Ellis Ross, and that's what they used that picture. And they tried to attribute the comment to this new style that was created by this, I want to say he's a European stylist. And they tried to, they had this whole statement they said that he said about he's created this new air cloud hairstyle or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Talk about gentrification.
But listen, it was fake. We've seen this plenty of times with black people with a lot of things, how they, even I just recently seen a video where they're trying to gentrify edge control. I don't remember the company name. It's so many things that they repost and they reply like cornrows.
Because now there is
something different,
like hair wax.
Yes,
so that's what it comes in a little. You can roll it on.
Yeah,
and it gets your flyaways.
Flyaways.
Edge control.
Edge control.
Just it's not as much. So
right.
It's slicker and it's not as much mess or whatever.
Right, and hair wax and pomades have always been around.
Yeah, they've always been there.
But in the black community, we have used so many things that it's become popular because you got to lay the edges down. You got to, get the baby hairs and stuff like that. And so, anyway, this article.
Although I want y'all to know y'all ain't got no baby hairs. You ain't no baby.
No, you're not. You got adult hairs.
And they long.
And
if they are short, it's like baby
bangs out.
And
okay,
that's
just me. That's just my generation. I be seeing them eyebrows. Because that's what I call the hair.
When it's this close to your eyebrow, I feel like that's a problem.
It's just too much.
Hey, you do what you want. Do you, boo?
Yeah, don't listen to us.
Do what you want.
We just two voices giving our perspective.
Our grounded perspective with our genuine conversation.
Yes. You walking. Don't get me started. Calm back down. Anyway, so the article attributed this style to him, and he must be someone really popular. And everybody was just, of course, Black Twitter, all of them, they went in on him. He had to put out a rebuttal and says, I have not even done an interview with this article. I have not given a statement. They didn't run it by me. I have nothing to do with this. I ain't created a new style. He was like, "This, I don't even know where it came from."
Baby. This is what the grows out of my head.
He was like, "I'm not even associated with this article. Why they use me and why that they put that in there is just false. Now, whether it's true or not, but he was like, I don't have nothing to do with this. But it's just
count me out.
But that just made me. It came up when I was looking at this, so it just made me think about how many things that it's wrong when we do it. It's not good. It's not professional. It's not And I say we by, black people, but then when someone else does it,
it's okay to be appropriated.
It's okay to be appropriated. It's okay to have cornrows in the workplace. It's okay, to put beads on there. Everybody was ragging Serena and Venus. But then when people start doing it, it's style, it's eclectic, it's vintage.
Vintage.
Get out of my face with that nonsense.
I know. Now see, one of the first times that I started wearing my actual fro to work, I was nervous about it.
Yeah.
I was nervous. But there's one of my friends, Abby, it's you. So if you ever watch this, I'm talking about you. when I first got there, I thought she's got that resting face. So I didn't think that I didn't think she was kind, period. But then like one of the first things she ever really said to me was, "What's in your hair?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What you mean?"
Right.
And she was like, "It smells wonderful." Right. And I was like, "Oh, it's my tropical, my little my curl enhancing smoothie from Shea Moisture, whatever it was at the time that I was using all the time." Yeah, that's what it was. I was putting it in my hair, and you know, so it was my little fro would pop, and it would make it bigger, and it was just
glistening.
It was beautiful, and she was like, "It just smells so good." I'm
Pam
like,
Greerish.
I was definitely in my 70s era and patting my fro when I would get up in the morning and stuff like that. So it made me feel better,
right,
that she said that, because I was like, okay, it's cool.
How are my coworkers?
How are my coworkers?
That's better. That is correct. How are my coworkers going to accept me?
Yeah. How are they perceiving me and my hair?
Yeah. Are they going to be?
Because even now, like you would think that now that I've been there all this time, but even with my locks, sometimes I'm like, hey, you can't be too fuzzy on top.
Right.
Like I need to get my hair done. I need to wash my hair. I need to do something to my hair because I don't need it to be too. I don't need to be looking unkempt.
Right. Well, you even said that to me. You were like, I got this going on today. And I was like,
y'all, you can't see
don't say it. Don't point it out. Weirdo. God.
I got a thing going ploop on my head.
She got a cowlick.
And it's never been there before, but because I need my hair done. But it's like, it's going shoot like that. And I was like, where you come from? Why are you doing that? Like, I'm about to be on this podcast and everybody gonna see my hair.
And nobody would have seen it if you hadn't pointed it out.
We got headphones, y'all, because we fancy now.
Yeah, we fancy.
I just was like, today looking in the mirror, I was like, look at my hair. Look at the fuzziness at the front of my hair.
Right.
Y'all gonna be able to see the fuzziness.
And I was like,
and that's silly. Like,
I was like, who cares? Who cares?
Funny for you to say.
It is funny for me to say. Why is it funny for me to say?
Because you would never.
I would never. I don't. I got problems. Okay. That's another issue to work out in therapy.
Yes. But I did also want to mention how, like we've talked about how it seems from the outside looking in on black people, but also the stigmas between black people.
Yeah.
So like looking at your hair and saying like, okay, even like being light skinned and having, if you know about the hair types, 4C hair versus like 3A hair, they're two different types of hair.
They are.
So having hair that's closer to whiteness, because white people hair is more on the 1 and 2 side of the curl types, with the straight and the wavy. But like having your hair be closer to whiteness, even in the community, is like, oh, you got that good hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas to me, like having good hair means you have healthy hair. No matter what kind of hair it is, no matter what the texture is.
And that's what I meant when I was talking about my daughter. When I say you have good hair, because she had really, really healthy hair. But whatever.
She do what she want to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the stigma in between the community of your hair nappy.
Right.
You nappy headed. Mm-hmm. I don't look at that kitchen.
B2B, Martin.
Oh, the B2Bs.
The kitchen. Gotta get that
kitchen. Like and then telling somebody like, oh, your hair needs to be straightened, or why don't you ever straighten it? Oh, you look so good with your hair straightened. But I wear my hair curly on a regular basis and you don't never say nothing.
Never say nothing.
You ain't never told me my hair looked good, but as soon as I straightened it, you're talking about how good my hair looks.
Yeah. As
another black person, which is wild to me to have to deal with that in your own community.
Man, sometimes we are our own worst enemy. We also have internalized racism.
Yes.
It's been indoctrinated in us to believe that it's a certain way that your hair should look, a certain way that you should be presented. And that's not just in a professional setting, it's in when we're hanging out. And I think, I can't remember if I read an article or I watched something that was talking about black women getting ready and presenting themselves to the outside world. And it was saying, women get ready for other women. Men get ready for themselves.
Yeah.
And I believe that carries over.
I like it when I'm out somewhere and some woman is like, oh, girl.
Okay, dress.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It does feel good. And I think for a very small sect of people that are confident in who they are and have great relationships with their hair and great experiences with their hair and all other things about their features, they don't care. Like, when I get dressed, I don't get dressed for other people.
Of course you don't.
I remember I came over here when we were first setting up the equipment, and I had on some multicolored pants that were blue and peach and all kind of other colors.
And her shirt matched.
And my shirt matched.
On the perfectly.
Perfectly. And she said, I don't know how that goes together, but it goes together.
It does. And I was like, how is this working out?
Because it wasn't a solid color shirt. It was a multicolored shirt and multicolored pants. And I just felt, fun. And that's how I dress on a regular basis. So if somebody gives me a compliment, it's added. And I have a hard time accepting compliments anyway. But when somebody give me a compliment, I used to be like, ugh. I used to counteract that with something negative. Even like when people would tell me my hair looked good, I would compliment that with something negative. I'd be like, it's a wig, or oh, it's a weave, or oh, I got it for $2.99. You know, I got this at the thrift store, and none of that matters.
You just say thank you and keep it moving.
Right, but because I had a hard time receiving and accepting them, when people would say, "Oh, your hair looks so good. What did you do differently?" and I would be like, "Thank you."
Like, I don't know.
Right, and I wouldn't even be able to go past the point of trying to say thank you to them.
Yeah.
And at some point, it just became like, you know what? People are giving you a compliment, just smile and accept it. And, you know, of course, the other side.
They might actually mean it.
They might mean it, or they might be trying to make conversation. And I'm like, yeah, and it took me, I think it also was hard for me to accept the compliments about my hair, because I'm like, I don't care what they think. So why would I care if they giving me a good compliment? Wouldn't even matter. So much therapy that has been done.
That's
so
such
much
a wall. Such a big wall. I mean, that's a brick concrete wall in between that. When you can't even accept the compliment that somebody gives you. Like, even a stranger that says, "Oh, I like your hair," and you like,
that doesn't matter.
Wow.
Right, because I didn't get dressed. I didn't do my hair, whatever style I changed. And I recall, again, one of the places I worked at, and when I started working there. When I came for my interview, I would wear quick weaves all the time, or sew-ins. And so I would always do hair that was the same length as my hair, which was like right to the mid of my back. And I know you understand why we do it if you're from our community, but we do it because we're protecting our hair. And it was just convenient. We had a young child. I worked multiple jobs and didn't have time to spend on doing hair. I'm very low maintenance. And so anyway, I wore it that way the entire time. And I want to say probably about a year and a half in, I decided to get a short quick weave. And I got a short quick weave, and the gasp that I had when I walked in.
You cut your hair?
You cut your hair? Oh my God, I can't believe that you had such long, pretty hair. Why did you cut it?
And then I'd be sitting there like, no, she didn't, yo.
And for a very long time, I was like while they were talking to me, I was like, what are they talking about? Because again,
they don't know the difference.
It didn't register. And I said, this is not my hair.
I just figured that out with my coworkers, because I was like, you can't tell that's a wig, and they'd be like, no, because I'll say, hey, because they'll be trying to describe somebody. I said, was she wearing the weave? And they go, what? How? No. I said, you sure? Yeah. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same person. They got a weave, but how do you know? And I'm like, I just look at it and know it's not real hair. Well, I don't know how to tell you.
And that translates to a lot of Caucasian women. I recall the hubbubaloo behind it when they were saying that's a very Caucasian word. But when they were discussing black women and weaves, and how men say they want a woman's natural hair, but a black man's version of a woman's hair, this is what this was talking about. I'm not saying this is for every black man, is a black woman who has straight. That's what they consider natural hair.
That ain't natural.
Like, it's not weaves, but it's straight. You know,
you might as well get a weave.
Right. And they were talking about how white women don't do it. I don't know what you're talking about.
They got extensions.
They wear extensions just as much as we do. But I think
not the same way.
But because of the bias is that naturally they have long hair, or naturally they have blonde hair, and they might have beach blonde hair and ain't near nobody beach. Why do you got that? Why your hair that color? It ain't genetics. Okay. Your mama is redhead, brunette, black. I mean, you know, and that's what people think.
I get that.
But, you know, and I remember reading that, and I was like, that's crazy. But it is true. Because I can believe that you have long hair and that your hair is always straight. Even if you're a curly hair Caucasian. But I can believe that. But I can't believe that a black woman would have long hair. Because your hair is really long. That's why your locks are long. Your hair was really long.
Yo.
You know, you can grow hair.
I can.
You know, and so... Anyway, just highlighting the differences.
Yes, the internalized. So not only is there a stigma outside of the black community on black hair, there's also internalized system, and racism about hair, and colorism and texturism about hair, and within the community, which is wild.
It is wild.
Unspoken rules.
Okay, unspoken rules. Now this. If you have ever worked in a professional, if you have ever worked anywhere, you ain't even got to be in a professional setting. If you have ever worked anywhere where you were the minority. Yeah. I'll say that. You were the minority. Then you've heard these you've heard these things.
Yeah.
You've heard them say to you.
And some of y'all have probably said them to people.
Y'all, I know I have. Is your hair real?
Now, I told y'all that I know when the hair ain't real, but you ain't supposed to walk up to nobody and say, hey, is that your real hair?
That's right.
Y'all got to be close for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't go to a stranger.
Don't call your brother and sister out in the workplace when they got extensions in their hair.
No.
You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Or they have now I know people wear these lace fronts, and let me tell you something about
you got to color that stuff. You got to cut it. You got to make sure I can't see the lace.
Man, melt that lace.
Whatever it is y'all do to it, because I ain't never had one.
Don't let it look like.
See,
this here we are, create more biases. But I'm just saying it shouldn't look like.
I mean, but the point of a wig is to look like it could have grown from your scalp.
It is
not for me to look at your head and go, you got on a lace front.
That's right, and and I can tell, like, and me, because I am a person that fixates.
Facts.
I'm just gonna be looking at it like this
the
whole time.
You be like, AJ.
Not intentional. I try to look away, but I'd be like.
Girl, what is number 2?
What's that net? What's that
number 2? What's on your forehead? Oh.
So diabolical. Please, melt your lace. And don't be asking them people if they got real hair.
No.
If that's their real hair. All right, number 2. How are you going to do your hair?
So that's for like when we're going somewhere or it's a professional event. Yeah. Why are you assuming that I can't just use the hair that I already have?
That's right. This says that it implies that we're not capable of wearing a different style, or that our hair is such a mighty task that they are scared that we can't handle it. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that you're going to be presentable when we go here. So how you going to do your hair?
How you going to do your hair for this?
Is it going to be straight? You going to wear your afro out? Now, although I love your afro.
Ooh. If you start a sentence with me, I'm talking about although.
Yeah. Although I love your afro, and I think it looks fantastic on you, and it's great, it's bouncy,
Because my fro was...
This event that we're going to...
It might not be appropriate.
We might need to be more professional.
I'm sorry, so the hair that grows out of my head ain't appropriate?
That ain't what I'm going to say. I'm saying mind your business. I'm wearing my hair how I want to wear my hair. But if you're not a person that has the confidence or the strength, or you're not in a position to be able to say that, you'll have to conform, and you will.
Conform.
Yeah. Craziness. All right, number 3. You should wear your hair natural more.
If I want to sit up here and be a straight-haired person if
I want to be a straight-haired baddie,
if I want my hair straight at all times, it ain't your business to tell me that I should and shouldn't do with my hair.
You're right. I have been told, which you said this, but not in a bad way. You told me that you're like, oh, I love you in braids. You look really good in braids. That's a style that suits you. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I look that great in braids. Now, granted, rephrase, I think I look good in everything because I think I look good, but I don't think that's my designated style.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. And other people have told me that. Also, our mutual friend, that's also a physical therapist.
Amy.
Don't be calling Amy name out.
Y'all, I'm tired.
Amy
we got 1 teaspoon of followers. Amy is her name.
Amy told me I had my hair, the first time I think I wore like a longer quick weave or sew-in or whatever. And she was like, she didn't say this in a bad way either. She was like, I like your hair shorter. Now, if I wasn't a confident person, I might have said, oh, and I might internalize that and start changing the way I wear my hair.
Yeah.
And then, but then she would follow that up with, but I know you don't care. Because she knew me. She's like, I know my opinion about your hair does not matter. And also, one of the senior elders at your church, she is. Listen, let me tell you, she's from the era. She gonna tell you like it is. Mm-hmm. And when you put weave, or you put weave or braids or anything in your hair other than your natural hair, why you do that? And she don't say it like that, but she say, why you do that? But she gonna tell you. And I know some people can look at that negatively, but I look at it like, okay, she has another perspective, and somebody needs to be vocal. Sometimes you don't need braids. Sometimes you don't need braids. Sorry. Sometimes you don't need braids down to your back.
And one time, to your ankles. I've seen people walking around with down to their ankles.
Sometimes you don't. I mean, it works for some people, but other people it doesn't. And I remember her saying it to one of the ladies on the praise team, our hairstylist, and she was saying because she used to wear the really long braids. Her braids are a lot shorter than they're still long. Well, actually, she doesn't have braids anymore, but crochet braids. But they were really long, and They gave her the business.
Yeah.
They gave her the business all the time. And she would tell me, and I'd be like, girl, wear your long braids. Put your blonde in and what you want to do. But, you know, you should wear your hair more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4 is, why do you wear weaves?
Because I want to. Because I want to.
Why do you wear weaves?
That's another question for when we get a little closer. Please don't ask people that you don't know like that.
That's right. We wear them for different reasons. We want to protect our hair.
I want a different style, but I didn't want to straighten my own hair.
That's right. I didn't want to put chemicals, process my hair, all of that.
Okay.
Number 5, can I touch your hair?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, you cannot.
Absolutely not.
We need to be close.
We need to be
close.
We need to be
close
enough.
Asking me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I still might tell you no, but we need to be close enough for if you think you can ask me to touch my hair.
If you ask,
I'm not a monkey. When my daddy always be like, am I a monkey in a zoo?
Right.
I'm freaking a freak show?
Right.
That's what he would say. Am I here for your entertainment?
Now, my daughter, she had, my oldest had that a lot. And a lot of things that she experienced, maybe slight racism. I guess racism can't be slight. Racism.
That's not slight.
Or the things that she experienced.
Microaggression of racism, but not slight.
She wouldn't tell me about it. Like even with them touching her hair. And I remember one day she said something about something and she was just in conversation and she was telling me, they was like, they touched my hair. I was like, who touched your hair? And she was like, such and such and such. I said, tell them don't touch your hair. I said, if they feel some kind of way, tell them your mama said don't touch their hair.
Nah, that happened to Lane. When she was living here, she was going to school.
Right.
And she said her teacher took one of her twists.
Oh, yeah.
And pulled her hair and let it go and said, oh, it's just so springy.
Yeah.
And I said, did you say
anything? She got knot on her head.
She said, no. And I said, you let me, she said, don't say anything. Like, she didn't want me to. So I said, okay, you got one more time.
Yeah.
For this woman that's supposed to be your teacher.
That's right.
To touch you in that way.
To not understand boundaries.
And make fun. Like, I was like, yeah, no, you tell me.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a thing.
That's going to be a thing. And that's what I had to tell my oldest daughter. I was like, those are the things you need to tell me. But she would say, I don't want to tell you those because I know how you're going to respond. My child knows me very well. And there's a lot of things that she did not tell me because she knew I was going to go up to that school and set it off.
Set it off, yeah. Y'all
set it off on the right. Y'all set it off. And I was going to absolutely do it. And so there was a lot of things about her hair that she didn't tell me. And even my oldest yesterday, I was fixing her hair before she went to go to tennis practice. And she said something. And I said, oh, after tennis practice, we fixed it. And I fixed it a certain way. And then we went out and she came back and I seen somebody playing in her hair. And I jumped out of that car so fast. I was sitting in the car waiting on her to finish because it was hot out there. Mm-hmm. And I seen somebody touch her hair. And I jumped so quick to run because they was finna get the business. And she seen the look on my face.
She's like, no.
Now, she hasn't seen the full version of me.
Right.
My oldest has. The youngest hadn't. And so, but the look I gave, my stride, all of it, she said, I told him to touch my hair, Mama, because I wanted him to feel something. And I said,
all right, girl, you better tell me something. You better
tell your mama. She says, I know, I seen you get out the car. And I was like,
Let me explain
really quickly, but it's one of the things.
Yeah.
Don't touch nobody's hair. Don't ask, can you touch their hair? Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Number 6, I didn't recognize you with your hair that way.
Ain't nothing changed about my face. Ain't never my face changed.
Straight slap.
I ain't Superman.
Molly whop 'em.
I took my glasses off. Now I'm Superman. You can't tell that I'm also Clark Kent.
Wow. Wow.
Because I got different hair. Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't recognize me, then don't recognize me any other time.
Don't see me in the streets nowhere.
You see me in the streets, act like you don't know me.
Okay.
How do you wash your hair?
With my 2 hands and some soap and some shampoo and conditioner.
Why? Why would you even want to know? Why? Why? Why is it important how I wash my hair? Are you gonna wash it?
And I wonder, what do you even mean when you ask the question?
Right. We're not talking about people who are maybe people that have mixed race kids or have adopted black kids. Yeah. We're not talking about that. We're talking simply about your curiosity. We're simply talking about George has entered into your soul. Curious George, you know.
I understood.
Right. Okay, make sure you follow. Why? Number 8. Why isn't your hair in cornrows? Because that's seen as a black style. So why isn't it? And everything is cornrows.
Oh yeah, all the braids are cornrows.
All the braids are cornrows. When you try to explain
my hair is cornrows.
If you try to explain to someone the dumbfounded look on their face.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And we're not talking about people who are genuinely interested. We're not talking about people.
They still shouldn't even ask the question like that.
They shouldn't ask.
Like that. No.
Even if we're close enough, don't ask me.
You can ask me, so what's the difference between cornrows and plaits? And
right,
you can ask different questions that seem educational and not just condescending.
Right.
Now, I do have the last anecdote, and then we out of here. So I had a patient one time, she had dementia, and she said, can you braid my hair? And I said, just for the fun, just for the laughs. I was like, why do you think I can braid your hair? And she was like, 'cause you're black. I said, joke's on you. I can plait, but I can't cornrow.
Joke's on
you, ma'am. I can't do what you're trying to get me to do. But like that's the thing. Like everybody assumes that we wear cornrows, that we can all do cornrows just because we black.
Well, it's the same way they assume that all of us have rhythm.
True. I did not when I was younger. I have a little bit more now, but still not as. Hey.
I said nothing.
You made a face. Anyway,
my oldest, she.
Don't do us like that.
Yeah, y'all are. I'm telling you, man, they similar. They so similar. But when I recognized that she didn't possibly have the gifting that I have.
Okay, it's time to go.
No, but I'm serious. When I recognized that I was like, okay, we got to work on this 2-step. And then we put her in. She was in praise dance and in church. And she did fantastic with that.
You want people to just automatically be able to
do it. And she looks like a natural dancer. When she dances, her body flows. And I'm like,
where was this?
Why don't you do this more? But anyway, again, black hair. Don't ask people, can you touch their hair? No. Don't ask them how they wash it.
Don't ask condescending questions is the point. Don't ask that kind of stuff.
Is the point. There is a stigma behind it.
Yes. Lose it.
Good
hair is healthy hair.
That's right.
No matter what texture it is, no matter how long it is, good hair is healthy hair.
And if you don't have the confidence to walk in your stuff, find you a friend like me who will boost you up so much so that you can punch them folks in their face with your words. With your words. Not like physically do it. Because you go to jail now, you get assault charges.
You know what the problem is? We ain't talking about God in this episode. Now she's up here talking about punching people. See what I'm talking about?
I said with words.
I'm just saying.
Not physically doing it. God is all through this.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. See you next week where you will join us for episode 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what the topic is.
I think I lied. I think this is 13.
This is 13. Get it together. You're supposed to be the stable one with the memory.
It's hard.
It is hard. Catch us on the next episode.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.